And we want to get our expert friend on here. Mike Davis joins us once again, a founder and president of the Article 3 Project on X at Mr. DDMIA. Go follow him and interact with him. You're great there, and we're always grateful to have you here as well. Mike, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back, Annie.
You bet. I want to just get your open thoughts on the president's willingness to come into his second term with a massive game plan, willing to execute it, knowing that the courts would be after him. Hasn't stopped him. He keeps winning.
When President Trump ran the first time, he had never run for office. He had never served in office. He had a very consequential first term, but even he will admit he made mistakes, particularly on personnel. He's had 4 years in office. He's had 4 years to reflect and 4 years to plan, and he is ready to go on day one. And you're seeing that with his executive orders on day one to do exactly what he promised American voters he would do. He said he would secure our border. He would expel illegal aliens, particularly foreign terrorists like Tren de Aragua and MS-13. He would cut waste, fraud, and abuse. He would deliver tax relief for real Americans in real America. He would lower energy prices. He would lower inflation. He's been doing all of those things, and this one big, beautiful bill puts it into law.
People say they're not cutting enough spending. There's the detractors. I can understand why somebody would look at this and want it to be more fiscally conservative. You've been an enormous advocate for getting this country back in order, and you've fought very hard for President Trump to be able to be the person who's doing that during the campaign. He's delivering on his promises. President Trump says he wants this bill to pass. Do you encourage the American people who might be skeptical of some of the spending that's in this, the cuts that aren't, to trust the president on this?
The American people should absolutely trust the president. He is fighting for real Americans in real America. He doesn't need this job. He's already had it. He has a better airplane. He has better houses. He has better cars. He has better helicopter. He doesn't need this. He's doing this because he loves America. With these deals, you're not going to get everything you want because you're dealing with schizophrenic cats in the Senate, and in the House, you're trying to herd. We have a narrow margin, and the president is going to deliver. We've heard a lot of politicians for almost 100 years talking about how they're going to cut spending going back to FDR. I think President Trump is the only president of whom I'm aware who has actually shut down a government agency, with USAID and several others. He's restructuring our executive branch. He's closing down agencies. He's closing down offices. He's telling these overpaid and underworked federal workers to go get real jobs in the real world. And so I think the American people need to trust the president. This one big, beautiful bill is an important step, but it's just a step, and there are going to be many steps over the next 4 years to restore Americans' faith in our government, because the president, like I said, he doesn't need this job. He's doing it because he loves his country.
Amen to that. We're speaking with Mike Davis, the founder and president of the Article 3 Project, Article 3, the number 3 project.org. Learn more there. Mike, when you reflect last week on the Supreme Court rulings that have followed, he's not losing. It doesn't seem like he's losing anywhere. And the biggest effort that the left has had against him is in these activist district courts. Is the president... Are the wins that came last week bigger than just on the specific issues there, on the left's ability to fight against this administration?
Yes, President Trump's biggest and most consequential accomplishment of his first term was the first constitutionalist Supreme Court in 90 years. And while they may disappoint us from time to time, I am a very loud critic when they do. Overall, this is a constitutionalist court. And we saw that at the end of this last term with these monumental 6-3 rulings, including the ruling that these activist judges, there are 800 district court judges around the country. They have lifetime tenure. They have pay protection. They don't have legislative power. They have a modest but crucial role, and that's to decide cases and controversies of the parties properly before them with redressable claims, nothing more, nothing less. And the Supreme Court just told these judicial activists, these Democrat judges, these judicial saboteurs, that their game is up, that the American people elected the president with an overwhelming mandate, 312 electoral votes, all 7 swing states. He kept the House. He won a comfortable majority in the Senate. He's going to do what he promised American voters he's going to do. And that's unthinkable in Washington. And these activist judges are not going to sabotage his presidency.
Mike Davis speaking with us right now. The president is obviously won on closing the border. He's been incredibly successful in doing so. Not even 6 months in office quite yet. He's working on the deportations that come along with getting the people who are here illegally back to the countries where they go to be home. What do you want to see the president really take, the bull by the horns next of all of the promises that he's made? Where does he go from here?
I think his most important job is to expel the 20 million illegal aliens who Joe Biden illegally mass imported into this country. That is job number one. If we lose our identity as a country, we are losing our sovereignty. We lose everything. We the people have the sovereign right to control our borders and to control our populace. And we never gave away that sovereign right at any time, not at our founding, not after the Civil War, not in any Congress since then, certainly not after the last election. And these activist judges need to understand that it is a very bright red line if they try to say after Joe Biden mass imported 20 million illegal aliens that President Trump cannot expel these illegal aliens out of our country. It's unacceptable, and we're not going to put up with it. The president has a constitutional right. He has a constitutional duty to repel this foreign invasion. That is the president's most important job.
Mike Davis speaking with us right now. I've heard the president, I think the vice president was discussing this as well, but their presence here, detractors will say they're here, they're not doing anything wrong. Maybe they came here illegally, but they're paying taxes, so on and so forth. There's a huge implication on census and representation in Congress. Do you see the possibility that this administration would take action in a census regard before it would naturally happen in its 10-year cycle?
They should, because at our founding and after the Civil War, when we had the Civil War amendments, we never envisioned that illegal aliens would be able to come into our country, walk across our border, and get full due process rights of Americans. We never agreed to that. They need to get the hell out of our country, and these activist judges need to get the hell out of the president's way.
Mike Davis, we are very grateful for your time here. We appreciate you. We look forward to having you back again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Mike Davis is the founder and president of the Article 3 Project, on X at Mr. DDMIA, and article number 3project.org. Great to have him on the show to talk about the progress that the president has made so far, but the work is not anywhere near done. Lots to go. And certainly, as Mike Davis sees it, he's going to have the authority, the constitutional authority, to get the job done. We're going to take a quick